Aside from weaving and beadworks, brass casting is one of the three major crafts of the Tibulis in Lake Sebu, South Cotabato. It is a craft that has been handed down from generation to generation. Although how they came to learn of the craft remains vague, and how the first Tibulis got hold of the brass, a mystery. Watching how the brass is cast, you see the time and patience it takes to come up, even with just one tiny piece of brass. Today, we are very honored to have been granted, along with the team from Tadeco Livelihood and Training Center, a simple demonstration on how traditional brass casting is done by one of Lake Cebu's famous brass caster, Bundos Fara. He said he started this craft, in which he learned from his father since the age of 11. Their family has been recognized in their brass casting skills for many generations. The process starts with mixing beeswax or sperma and a little asphalt, creating a black past that can be shaped. The design is first made. For every single product produced, there is one mold. So if Bundos wants to make 1,000 of each product, he needs to create 1,000 molds of wax prototype. He is now making a prototype for a traditional brass bell. And after the wax prototype is done, it is covered with the loamy clay soil excavated from the mountains, where only that kind of soil will work. These are then left to dry, and once dry, a hole is pierced until the wax is exposed. So Bundos is using scraps of brass from those rejected products, and also he's using brass from discarded padlocks. These brasses are then melted in a high temperature fire. In this demonstration, Bundos prepares the fire with coals and fan through a traditional blower. It is important to keep the temperature blazing hot to ensure that the brass are melted well, and to allow the wax prototypes to drip away and turn to dust from the sheer heat. The prepared mold is then picked up with a long pair of tongs. Now, a burning red clay pot holding the molten brass is taken from old padlocks and other scrap brass, is lifted with another pair of tongs, and the content is poured over the mold. Depending on the size of the product being made, these molded clay are left to cool and the brass to set for hours or even days. So in this demonstration, because Bundos is just making small bells, the process has been shortcut. So he quickly dips the molded clay and the brass to let it cool down. And it's now time to break the molded clay to reveal the cast brass. The next step involved will be to allow the cast brass to cool down and polish the casted pieces. And those that do not form well are rejected, and the rejected brass will be melted again to make another piece. Seeing how these pieces are made gives you a great appreciation of that single brass piece. So next time you buy a brass piece or when you receive it as a gift or souvenir, remember the process involved in transforming even those neglected brass pieces into perfect piece. Each piece is handcrafted, each piece is polished, and each piece is deemed perfect. Thank you very much, and until next time here in Verniculture.